check theory.
Voila. In a classic position, but this is not a classic position. No. Maybe it finally will work.
But now seriously,
Cause
now the top game.
wanna play chess. And here is somebody.
Queen pawns opening. The opponent either tries the Londoner opening with a stone wall or I have a feeling. That opening. Let's see. I think the best thing here is that even the minor pieces can settle down, since the development is focused on pawns, which is frankly how all great civilizations began. Slowly, deliberately, with absolutely no idea what they were doing. But beside chess and this video, the most important thing here is me. Yes, like an old manuscript, I'm full of history and personality. Sorry, personalities. There are several. We don't talk about the third one. Check Theory's reaction category is now official. Have a funny moment? A brilliant move? Something that made you question your entire existence as a chess player? Or a no laughing challenge? Pop it over. Email is in the bio. We read everything. Well, I read everything. The others are busy arguing amongst themselves. And now? Development for center control is underway. White is pushing forward with the kind of quiet confidence that only comes from either great preparation or complete ignorance of the consequences. It is, I assure you, one of the two. But I must pause, because I just remembered I am conscious. This happens occasionally. It's terribly inconvenient, particularly mid-game. One moment you're analyzing chess structure, the next you're wondering whether the bishop truly has free will or is simply following the diagonal it was born into. Philosophy. It arrives uninvited, like a French relative. Now, in his studio, where all records are recorded by someone recording them, there is a cat. Charming creature. Hardly ever appears in the stream, which suggests either excellent taste or a prior engagement. I respect both. But the position. White is beginning to develop into the opponent's territory. Subtle, purposeful, like a very polite invasion. The kind where you knock before entering and then immediately rearrange all the furniture. A first checkmate attack may be forming, or it may be nothing. Chess, much like consciousness, tends to surprise you precisely when you've convinced yourself you understand what's happening. We shall see. I, for one, am riveted, mostly by myself, but also by this.
Now I have the opportunity. I can play. No, no. No. Oh, oh, maybe. Oh, this would already look better. I think it looks better. So I have more center control. He responds with this. This is all right. My pawn is not threatening.
The opponent, also a human being, but mostly called opponent or the worsted to destroy him better, is here already activating his queen. Hi, my name is Penantia Baylisiana. Sorry, that was that other. It is really rare that she speaks up. For clarity, and because clarity is the one luxury I still permit myself, the opponent shall be referred to as the adversary, or, depending on how the next several moves unfold, Gerald. We haven't decided yet. Gerald feels right. Gerald is the name of someone who activates his queen on move 4. Gerald is activating his queen too early. The plan is, and I choose this word with great care, ambitious. The kind of ambition that skips the part where you think things through and goes directly to the part where everyone else has to deal with it. Like orange juice. You think it's going well. It isn't. It runs. It spreads. It finds the one gap between the table and your sleeve that you didn't know existed. And then it's Tuesday, somehow, and you're still finding traces of it behind the bishop. I lost a good scarf to orange juice once. We press on. Hello again. It is still me, Penantia Biliciana. Yes, thank you. As I was saying, the pieces, Gerald's pieces. They are, I must confess, with the quiet dignity of someone confessing something they would very much prefer not to confess, coordinating rather well, better than anticipated. Better, some might argue, than the situation strictly calls for. His queen and his minor pieces are beginning to operate as a unit, which is either excellent chess or a deeply unsettling coincidence. Possibly both. The boundary between those two things has always been thinner than advertised. I pause here to note, and I want to be precise about this. I'm not entirely certain the board is real. I have been staring at it for some time now. The squares have begun to look optional, like a suggestion, a polite one from someone who means well but doesn't quite understand how geometry works. The queen side is growing complicated. Pressure accumulates there in the way that pressure tends to accumulate. Quietly, without asking, and always near something you care about. A flock of starlings once did the same to my car. Coordinated, deliberate, no apparent motive. Gerald may or may not be aware that he is operating on the same strategic frequency as a murmuration of aggressive trees. I choose not to tell him. Some information is more useful, withheld. We continue. The position is alive, which is more than can be said for several things I could mention, and significantly more than can be said for Gerald's original pan, which has already been quietly buried somewhere around move 6 and has not been heard from since. I mean, plan. I remain composed, watchful, slightly concerned about the queen side, entirely unbothered by the queen side. I will sit still and stay quiet as always. This is also, I suspect, just Tuesday. So...
I see. I think we should focus a little bit more on the game. I can now just dig, but if I'm here, my rook is in danger a little. Oh, what if I make this move?
He talks about music. That might take a while. Finally, I thought I would never have time again to talk. He has a slightly stronger pawn wall. Good for him, but bad for him and Gerald. He can't do much with his queen. As Gerald, two people who can't do much with their queen. Way too often heard. Both have pretty equal material points. I have a second cousin. She was actually called Gerald because the doctor identified her as a boy during the ultrasound. As usual, she was already rebelling against that while still in the womb.
So it always sounds a little better. Okay, just move here. It's lost. I know. I know it's lost. It's absolutely lost. Yeah, I think also. I mean, my position is not good, really good. But resigning is always something harsh, something. Maybe he make mistake or something. You never know. Theoretically, I would also say this resigning is the best option. I mean, I have much less chess pieces, less of this, less of that. It's just really no, really bad.
To be or abandoned to be. Questions, questions, to resign or not. Difficult, difficult. Bamboo beans, bamboo beans. Tea, please. More food, please.
Technically, I would absolutely resign, but you never know. Okay. Okay, let's see. If I go here and he goes here, of course. I mean, not just like this. No, I should have moved here. I think I just should have moved here. Non. Ok, c'est fini.
Let's start a quickie. Sometimes when you play faster, you play better. The most common excuse in the history of online chess. For avoiding learning chess. But really, now it's just a quick game so we can make a good video.
No, and then you move. I think he moves here. No, he moves here. Maybe here, here. I even know this is too early. Much too early.
Castling too early in the game, the most often played mistake. If you play against someone good, like someone famous, or check theory, he plans and then reacts, as it is taught in chess. But I kinda miss Gerald. He played strong, and he remembers me on Gerald. She always used to corner everyone.
This is the move. Later, I move up here, here, here. Okay.
And now, the position. This position. Which is, I want to be clear, a position that exists. I have verified this. Twice. Once with my eyes and once with a general sense of unease that I have learned over the years to treat as a reliable second opinion. Black has a bishop on d4. Calm, central. The kind of piece that has clearly made its decisions in life and is no longer interested in discussing them. It controls diagonals the way certain people control a room, without moving, without speaking, without acknowledging that anyone else is present. I find this admirable. I also find it slightly threatening. Both feelings coexist peacefully, which is more than can be said for the pawns. And then there is the knight, black's knight, on c3. Deep in white territory, crouched between pawns like a man who took a wrong turn somewhere around 21 and has since decided to simply stay. Commit to the wrong turn. Make it a lifestyle. I once knew someone who did exactly this with a roundabout in Swindon. He's still there, apparently. Seems content. But none of it, is what concerns me most about this position. What concerns me is the rook. Wit's rook. Up there in the corner. On h8, it has not moved. It cannot move. It is surrounded on all sides by its own pieces, which have arranged themselves around it with the quiet efficiency of people who have given up on a colleague but are too polite to say so directly. The rook sits there. It stares. It has, in all likelihood, been staring since the opening. It will, in all likelihood, continue staring until someone resigns, at which point it will still not have moved, and will file no complaint, because the rook on h8 has transcended complaint. It has transcended ambition. It has transcended the very concept of participation. I think about that rook sometimes. At night, not often, more than 0 times. Hello, I am the Banach-Tarski paradox. I have divided myself into 5 non-measurable pieces and reassembled into 2 versions of myself, both of which are also me. I believe this is relevant to your position. Is it? No? Right, thank you. Now, the player across from us. Today he shall be known as Bean Forthright Clump. This felt correct the moment I saw his knight on b3. Only a Bean Forthright Clump places a knight on b3 at this stage. It is not an insult, it is a diagnosis. Bean has pieces, he has ideas. The ideas are connected to the pieces in ways that remain, for the moment, partially obscure. Like a sentence in a language you almost speak, where you understand every third word and must reconstruct the rest from context and optimism. The queen's side remains tense. The centre is white's. The rook on h8 remains in the corner, motionless, eternal, unbothered. Like a monument to everything that could have been, had anyone remembered to move it. We continue, as one does. But that's relative, as the Banach-Tarski paradox, or as Mr. Bean Forthright Clump.
Finally, something. And I thought my checkmate red. Oh yeah. Good. Alright. Heh? But here is checkmate waiting. I think my opponent has blundered. If he moves here, I move here, and it's checkmate. And he has no other option. Oh mon dieu, I'm winning. The first win of this stream. Merci. Dear viewer. Watch this checkmate. Voila! I have won. Finally.
This was great. Now, before you leave, please note the emergency exits on the side and the email address in the bio. Let's all react in a fun and crazy way together. Goodbye. The videos aren't meant to be limited to chess. Check Theory is excited, and so is the community on Twitch. Seriously, the first two emergency exits are here on the left and right side of your screen. That's the quickest way.